Democrat Congressman Shri Thanedar is dropping his effort to impeach Trump for now.
According to Axios, some Democrats were privately fuming over Thanedar's move. They called Thanedar's move, quote, dumb, selfish, and a waste of time, among other invectives.
Thanedar took to X this week and wrote, "After talking with many colleagues, I have decided to not force a vote on impeachment today. Instead, I will add to my articles of impeachment and continue to rally the support of both Democrats and Republicans to defend the Constitution with me. This is not about any one person or party. It is about defending America, our Constitution, and rule of law. I will continue to pursue all avenues to put this president on notice and hold him accountable for his many impeachable crimes."
After talking to Thanedar, Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland said, "My message for all of my colleagues has been, you might be absolutely convinced of your correctness, but the Constitution demands that you go and work with other people to promote the consensus."
Damn, that's harsh.
Jamie Raskin, by the way, whether you like him or hate him, former con law professor, so he knows constitutional law. Like, he knows of what he speaks.
Also someone who tried to impeach Trump.
This is, look, I think it's hilarious in a sad, laugh to keep from crying way that Shri Thanedar is saying, he's pulling back on this and saying, this was never about like one man or promoting myself. Of course this was about promoting himself. He knows that a surefire way to get on liberal talk shows and to raise money is to say, I'm sponsoring a resolution to impeach Donald Trump. Parentheses, you may have never heard of me, but now you have.
By the way, I felt the same way when we had these articles of impeachment by like Marjorie Taylor Greene against Joe Biden.
Yes.
You know that you're not going to get enough votes for it. You probably are wrong on the legal aspect of it. And instead you're trying to just raise money, get on TV, and you're wasting everybody's damn time.
And, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a great example because I always think of this. I remember, talk about feeling like antiquated. Do you remember when Democrats took control of the House and they took her off the committees that she was on? Whatever. I kind of think that's dumb, but fine, it happened. I was like, man, that's a real, that's going to be a death blow for Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's going to lose next year because she's not on committees. The exact opposite.
It was huge earned media for her.
She had more time. She was, number one, now she became a victim of the woke left. She had more time to raise money. She had more time to go on TV. And she became much, much bigger. It's like, there really is, I don't think this is everyone, right? I don't think 535 of them care much more about being on TV and raising money and raising their profile so they can run for something else. I actually think it's a relative, it's probably 10%, but that 10% gets a lot, and 10% on both sides, it gets a lot of attention. And it's this, we talked about this, it's this performative thing. It's not doing it because you necessarily believe it, doing it because you know it will get you attention that will accrue to your political benefit. And it's like, man, if you need a very simple diagnosis of what's wrong with our politics, I would point you to Shri Thanedar and Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? And unfortunately, look, I hate to say it, we're talking about them. In a way, he's kind of winning because we're talking about it.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad about that. I mean, the interesting thing about Shri Thanedar that came up after he first filed these articles was that apparently he used to be a big Marco Rubio fanboy. He would follow him around to all of his rallies.
Little Marco!
He would try to get selfies with him and tell him how much he loved him. It's bizarre.
Are you a Democratic member of Congress?
You have to find these videos and watch them. It is insane. He was like a college Republican at CPAC, like trying to latch on to whatever politician they could find.
I mean, look, sadly, Shri Thanedar is getting what he wants because I will tell you, if you said to me, hey, Chris, what does Shri Thanedar do for a living? On Monday, I would have been like, I do not know. And now I know he's a Democratic member of Congress. So, like, that's the thing. It's like our incentive structure is broken, right? Our incentive structure in politics is broken. It rewards people who are doing things to get attention as opposed to doing things either because they believe in it, because they think there's a way forward legislatively, because they think it's the right thing to do. And I know I don't want to both sides everything, but this absolutely happens on both sides because, look, politics is a copycat game, right? If you're a state legislator, a conservative, and you're like, you want to run for Congress, you're going to look probably at a Marjorie Taylor Greene and be like, oh my God, she's on Fox all the time. She's raising all this money. She might be the governor. She took herself out of the Senate. Right? That's a success story. And fill in the blank random person who's a member, an influential member of the Appropriations Committee, you probably don't know who it is. And that our incentives, until we change the incentive structure, we're not going to change the kind of people we elect.
Yeah, and I do think the media has a responsibility to use good news judgment and how they approach stories like this. Like at the Daily Caller, one of the things that we're really cautious about is just because somebody introduced a bill, that doesn't mean that it's actually worth a news story, right? Like, is it going to go anywhere? Does it actually change people's lives and make things better? Are you going to maybe get some surprise Democrats? Like, we ask ourselves all of these questions when we're looking at covering a story, and too often these members of Congress will go to whatever friendly media outlet on the left and the right and say, I've got a scoop for you. I'm introducing a bill to rename the Gulf of Mexico into Gulf of America, and everybody's going to vote for it. And the media outlet goes, oh, great, it's a scoop. I'll take it.
And I think you're exactly right. And I actually think it is more important from a media perspective to the stories you choose not to cover sometimes than the stories you do choose to cover.
100%.
Right? Like, because it's that's where your discretion, your news judgment, is this something that has a chance of, particularly as it relates to Congress, has a chance of passing, has any sponsorship, or is this solely a vehicle to get this person on either MSNBC or Fox News?
Exactly.
Right? And I think you have to understand their motivations and not just say, like, this is a scoop. Yeah, it's a scoop that a press aide wrote 10 minutes ago so that they could say it was a scoop for you to get you to do it.
Exactly, yeah. A press release is not a scoop.
No.
90% of the time. Oh, boy.
The media. How many hours do we have?
I know. We could talk about that for probably
I'm doing that in my 52-hour podcast later today.
Perfect. Yeah. I'll pop in.
90-part series. Yeah.
I've got plenty to say. All right. Up next on Rising, are young men falling behind? Well, we'll dive into some of the warning signs that could make this more than just a feeling. That's next.